My dear child, I have been standing right next to you for the last 2 hours. I am Archangel Michael, and I have been waiting, just waiting for you to stop and listen. Did you feel something strange today? Maybe the wind stopped moving for a moment, or your phone screen blinked, or you felt a little worried inside your heart without knowing why. That was me trying to reach you, because I have something very, very important to tell you. This is not just any message. This is an emergency message from heaven. A private investigator. Do you know what that means? It's a person who secretly follows others and watches what they do. Well, such a person was caught just a few hours ago. And my dear one, this is not about someone else's story. This is about you. Your name, your life, everything that happens around you. You are directly connected to this. Someone you know. Someone who doesn't even deserve to speak your name. That person paid money to this investigator. Why? To follow you everywhere. To watch you like a spy. To write down everything you do. To send secret reports about you. But something happened that nobody expected. He got caught! And what he told after getting caught has shocked everyone, even the people in high places. Now listen carefully, my child. This investigator was not hired just to collect information about you. No, he was hired to steal your blessings. Yes, you heard that right. There is a beautiful plan that heaven has made for your life. We call it your divine timeline. It's like a special road that God has built just for you. On this road, there are gifts waiting for you. Good people who will love you. Money that will come to you. Healing for your pain. And even a beautiful surprise that was supposed to come into your life next month. But someone noticed that you were changing. Someone saw that you were becoming stronger. Someone realized that you were breaking free from old, sad patterns. And that person got scared. They thought, oh no! If this person becomes happy and successful, what will happen? So they tried to block your blessings. They tried to stop the good things that heaven was sending to you. But guess what? Heaven stopped them instead! The investigator got caught, and the person who paid him, they have no idea what's coming for them now. Because God Himself has stepped into your life. That's why I, Archangel Michael, have been waiting here for you. I will not leave until you understand this message completely. Everything is connected, my dear one. Those dreams you had recently. That sudden phone call from someone you didn't expect. The numbers you keep seeing again and again, like 11-10-11 or 20-22. Even that moment when your mirror cracked. These were all signs. Signs that someone was watching you, but also signs that you were being protected. Let me ask you something from your heart. Have you felt like someone was staring at you lately? Have you looked around in a crowd and felt like someone's eyes were following you? Have you heard your name being whispered when nobody was there? It wasn't your imagination, child. It was real. Now comes the most important part. After reading this message, you will be tested. Someone will come back into your life. It might be an old relationship. It might be a job offer. It might be an old habit that feels comfortable. But my dear one, it's a trap. It will look nice and familiar, but it's filled with tricks and lies. The same person who paid money to spy on you will try to come back into your life. They will pretend to have changed. They will pretend to love you. They will pretend to care. They might even cry in front of you. They will say exactly the words you've been wanting to hear for so long. But heaven is telling you, don't open that door. Don't reply to that message. Don't look back at your past. Your beautiful future is waiting ahead of you, not behind you. If you are reading this right now, it means God has chosen you. This message was written in heaven with your name on it, even before you woke up today. This is your divine confirmation that heaven sees your good heart, angels see your pain, and help is coming. Let me tell you what that investigator said after he got caught. He talked about a document, a fake paper with your details on it. Someone had signed it, stamped it, and changed it. This paper was being used to delay something that would have helped you with money, something big that could have changed your whole life. But heaven didn't let it happen. God stopped that paper from working. Just last night, someone working in a government office found a mistake in that paper, and that mistake led to the investigator being arrested. Is this a coincidence? No, my child. This is divine reversal. This is God fixing everything for you. So please, listen. When you see this message, don't scroll past it thinking, I'll read it later. Because this message is happening right now, in this exact moment. Your health, your peace, your next decision. Everything depends on what you choose after reading this. Starting from today, you will notice 3 things happening. First, someone will try to contact you 3 times. Don't respond to the second message. That one is a trap. Second, tomorrow morning, a bird will come to your window. That's your angel's sign saying, I'm here with you. Third, you will hear the words, watch closely. Either someone will say it to you, or you'll hear it on TV or phone. That's me, Archangel Michael, reminding you to be careful and not trust everything you see. I know you are tired, my dear child. You're tired of always being the one who feels too much, forgives too easily, and hopes for too long. But do you know why you feel so deeply? Because your heart is pure. Your heart is so clean and good that it can carry messages from heaven. That's exactly why you're under attack. That's why people try to dim your beautiful light. But here's the truth. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Not now. Not in the future. Not ever again. You are not just protected. You are COSCN. And that person who hired the investigator. Their plan is about to fall apart in front of everyone. They will try to hide, but the truth will come out. Your name will be cleared, and a money miracle is about to begin in your life. It's like heaven's way of saying sorry for what you went through silently. From now on, speak less and watch more. Let your silence be your strength. Let your wisdom be your shield. Heaven is watching you, and they are proud of you. And I, Archangel Michael, will be with you tonight. At exactly 2:11 in the morning, you might feel a cold breeze or a chill. Don't be afraid. That's just me passing by. I'll be watching over your window, your door, and your beautiful soul. You will not fall. You will not fail. You will rise higher than ever before, because the very people who tried to spy on you will soon be investigated by higher powers, both divine and earthly. In exactly 3 days, you will receive an unexpected message. It could be a phone call, an email, or someone standing at your door. Don't panic. Don't be scared. Don't talk too much. Just listen very carefully, because that message will start the next beautiful chapter of your life. And it will also lead you to the person who is meant for you. Yes, I'm talking about true love too. That special person is being prepared for you right now, even as you read this. This message, this exact moment, is your turning point. If you close this and walk away like it's nothing, you will delay your blessing. But if you hold on, if you pray tonight and ask God for a sign, you will wake up tomorrow completely changed, forever changed. God sent me to tell you this because He has big plans for you. And no spy, no secret enemy, no fake friend can stop those plans anymore. If you are still reading this, please type in the comments, "I receive this with faith," and subscribe to this channel. This is the beginning of your miracle! I, Archangel Michael, am now placing divine armor around your heart. Nothing bad will touch you unless God Himself sends it. Nobody will reach you unless their hands are pure and clean. No door will open for you unless it leads to truth and happiness. You've waited long enough, my child. Now it's your time. Your name is being whispered in rooms where blessings are prepared, and the people who tried to destroy you, they will have to watch you rise in complete silence. They had their chance. Now it's heaven's turn. And guess what? You are first on the list. You are number one. Stay ready. Stay quiet. Stay powerful. You are not alone. You never were. This was your divine message. Watch it again if your heart is still beating fast, because that's the truth breaking every lie that was ever spoken against you. Come back to this message every time you forget how special and chosen you are. Your protection is not just prayer. It's personal. Heaven knows your name. This is your time. This is your confirmation. Now go and walk in the light that nobody can ever take away from you. And now, my dear child, even though you're still here, still reading, still breathing with a heart that's carrying so much, let me tell you something more. You were never meant to carry all that shame. You were never meant to walk with your head down, wondering what you did wrong. Because the truth is simple. You did nothing wrong. Nothing at all. You were chosen to break the chain of pain. And they couldn't handle that. The moment you started changing, the moment you started becoming aware of your true worth, something shifted. The energy around you changed. And it scared them. It scared them so much. Because when someone finally realizes they're not what others said they were, when someone chooses healing instead of revenge, when someone chooses light instead of darkness, when someone chooses peace instead of just pleasing others, then heaven starts moving in ways that the world cannot stop. That's why this investigation didn't go unnoticed. That's why the attempt to hurt you has now exposed the people hiding behind masks. And I want you to hold this truth tightly in your heart. They can no longer touch you. The old painful cycle is broken. The people who played games behind closed doors are now being watched by higher forces. Yes, even by people in law and government. You will soon start hearing whispers about their downfall, not because you wished bad things for them, but because God believes in justice. And when it comes to His chosen ones, He doesn't play games. And you, my beloved, are deeply, deeply chosen. I know you've been asking yourself why everything has been so hard lately, why your energy suddenly drops for no reason, why certain people just disappeared from your life without any explanation, why someone you trusted suddenly started acting like a complete stranger. It was all part of God's plan. He was revealing people's true hearts to you. Heaven was rearranging your circle of friends and family, because the next beautiful season of your life cannot be shared with people who secretly hoped you would fail. And now, because you stayed strong, because you kept going even when your prayers seemed unanswered, because you didn't lose your light when everything around you got dark, heaven is going to reward you publicly, not just with one miracle, but with waves and waves of miracles. You'll see it in your relationships, in your bank account, in your health, in your joy. A joy you haven't felt in years, a peace that won't need any explanation. And when all this comes, don't make yourself small. Don't hide your victory just because others didn't clap for you. They had a choice. They had a chance to love you the right way, but they wasted it. But God is never late. And right now, at this very moment, angels are preparing a beautiful table in front of your enemies, not to embarrass them, but to lift you higher, because your story is about to be told differently. The lies won't have any power anymore. Your name is being cleared in the spiritual world, and very soon it will be cleared in the physical world too. You will receive contracts, letters, messages, something official that will prove everything they tried to hide. When you look at it, you'll remember this exact moment, and you'll cry, not because of pain, but because you'll finally feel seen. You'll finally understand why the delay was not God saying no. It was God protecting you. You were being hidden in plain sight for a very special reason. You were being shielded, preserved, and prepared. And now, heaven says you're ready. You're ready to walk into rooms that were once closed to you. You're ready to have conversations that once made you shake with fear. You're ready to love again, trust again, dream again. Because everything the investigator tried to use against you has now become evidence of how strong you are, how untouchable you are when heaven is your defender. So tonight, when you lay your head down on your pillow, know that the war over your life has shifted completely. You are not on trial anymore. You are the living testimony. And the most beautiful part is this: you didn't need revenge. You just needed revelation, the truth. And now that it's here, now that you know what's really happening, promise me, promise God, that you won't go back to small thinking. You won't keep explaining yourself to people who don't deserve it. You won't doubt your beautiful gifts anymore. You are more powerful than anyone ever told you. And now you've seen it with your own eyes. You are walking, breathing evidence of a miracle in motion. And as this miracle continues to unfold around you, even in those quiet moments when nobody else sees what you're fighting inside, I want you to remember this truth. Your pain was not wasted. Every tear you cried when you were all alone, every night you sat awake with thoughts spinning like a storm in your mind, every morning you forced yourself to get up despite the heavy weight on your chest, it was all seen. Not one single moment escaped heaven's eyes. Not one heartache was ignored. The reason you were being followed, watched, and even investigated by people who work in darkness was because your light disturbed their demons. Your presence was too pure for their evil plans. You carried an energy that their lies couldn't survive around. And so, instead of becoming like them, You chose to keep your heart soft, your mind open, and your words kind. And child, that made you a threat in the spiritual realm? You have no idea how many traps were set for you that never reached you. Angels were assigned to block them all. You have no idea how many people tried to gather information to twist your truth, but God confused their words and plans. And now, with this message, He's removing the final layer of fog from your eyes. You're going to see clearly who was really with you, who was against you, and who was sent only to delay you. But don't panic when the faces look familiar. Don't be shocked when the names are of people you once loved deeply. It's not betrayal, my child. It's clarity. And with clarity comes power. The power to decide who gets access to the next, better version of you. Because this next chapter of your life will be nothing like the last one. This next chapter will feel like justice wrapped in pure joy. You'll notice how things begin to fall into place without any effort from you. You'll wake up with a strange sense of peace filling your heart. You'll walk into spaces that once scared you and feel a new level of confidence. Not because of pride, but because you'll finally recognize your divine authority. The same authority that the enemy tried to steal by making you doubt yourself. The same authority people tried to bury under shame, gossip, and lies. But God says, no more hiding. No more making yourself small. No more silence. Your voice is rising. Your gifts are waking up. Your time is now. And that private investigator, that was the last attempt to delay your breakthrough. That was the final warning bell before your blessing is released. Heaven allowed it to be exposed, not to scare you, but to confirm to you that your enemies can no longer work in the shadows. Light is shining. Everywhere and everything hidden is coming out into the open. So don't be surprised when people suddenly start confessing things. Don't be shocked if someone returns to you with the truth they've been hiding for years. They'll shake. They'll stutter. They'll tremble when they're near you, because they'll realize you were never just anyone. You were anointed. You were chosen by God. And when you're anointed, every plan made against you backfires and becomes fuel for your rise. So take this message very seriously. Don't treat it like something you scroll past and forget. Let this soak deep into your soul. Let your body feel the protection that's covering you like a warm blanket. Let your spirit rise again, because the version of you that's been hiding, dimming your light, doubting yourself, and breaking inside, that version is gone now, and in its place stands someone reborn, someone with clarity, confidence, and a divine assignment that cannot be canceled. Not now, not ever. And as you sit here right now, heart racing, mind spinning, maybe even with tears rising in your eyes, because something deep inside you knows this message is true. Let me speak to that place within you that's been holding on so tightly, afraid to hope again. You don't need to pretend to be okay anymore. You don't need to keep acting like you're unaffected, like the silence didn't hurt, like the betrayal didn't sting, like the delay didn't almost break you completely. Heaven saw every single second. You were on your knees, praying for answers that didn't come right away. But those answers are here now, and they are louder than the lies, louder than the fear, louder than that voice in your head that sometimes whispers, "You're not enough. You are more than enough." Child, you are the reason this message was released today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Today, right now. Because spiritually, something has shifted around you. A barrier has been broken. A new door has been unlocked. And your name is already written on it. Don't question how this is possible. Don't try to understand why someone would go to such crazy lengths to investigate your life, to pay money to dig into your past, to search through your silence. Because the truth is, they couldn't stand the fact that you were healing without their help, that you were rising without their approval, that you were glowing in rooms they were never invited into. It confused them. It made them angry. And so they watched. But God says they watched for too long. And now they've been seen. The very people who tried to watch you in secret have now been exposed publicly in the spiritual realm. Their bad energy is no longer allowed near you. Their access to your life has been completely cut off. And this message is your spiritual notice. You are free. Free from invisible chains. Free from people trying to control your emotions. Free from every curse and bad word spoken against your name. And not only are you free, but you are favored. The next time someone asks you how you're doing, you won't need to fake a smile. You'll speak from a place of real peace. Because very soon, your life will be so perfectly aligned, so protected, so full of divine flow that you'll forget what it felt like to doubt yourself. You'll walk through doors with confidence, not ego, but true confidence rooted in truth. The truth that heaven backs you up. That angels surround you on all sides. That Archangel Michael guards you day and night. That the investigator who was hired to destroy you only triggered a divine protection system that no human can override. And that system is active right now. That's why you've been feeling things more intensely lately. That's why certain people fell away from your life without warning. That's why you've been called to spend more time alone. Not because you're broken, but because heaven has been recalibrating your frequency, adjusting your spiritual energy. You're not like everyone else. And you were never meant to blend in with the crowd. That's why you've always felt a little different. That's why your presence shifts the energy of a room. That's why your silence makes people uncomfortable. That's why your truth stirs up emotions in people who don't even understand why they're affected by you. Because you carry something ancient, something sacred, something divine inside you. And now that you've made it this far without breaking completely, heaven is stepping in to restore everything they thought you lost. And it's coming back with interest. The love you gave that wasn't returned. It's coming back multiplied many times over. The time you spent helping people who then left you, God is returning it as divine connections who will actually pour love into you. The opportunities you missed because of delays and lies, they're being replaced by doors you never even knew existed. This is what's being released right now. Not later. Not when you're supposedly ready. Now. Because you've already proven you are strong enough. You've already walked through fire without becoming it. And now the fire burning in you is no longer just for survival. It's for building, creating, and expanding into everything God planned for you. You are entering your season of establishment, your season of building, your season of growth. And no one, no investigation, no painful past, no curse, no secret plan formed in darkness will ever stand in your way again. This is your divine clearance, your spiritual green light, your confirmation from heaven itself. And if you've felt this whole time like this message is speaking directly to your soul, it's because it was written for you before you even knew you'd need it. Before the investigator was caught, before the lies started forming, before the whispers began behind your back, heaven already had this response prepared. And this message is it. You weren't meant to find this by accident. You were drawn here because a divine alert was triggered around your life. Something that's been hidden from your physical eyes, but not from your spirit. And even though you felt it in your body, those waves of sudden anxiety, those dreams that leave you waking up with your heart racing, those random memories from years ago surfacing as if they're begging to be released. All of it has been part of the spiritual awakening that leads to your complete freedom. And now that the truth is surfacing, now that the layers are peeling back and revealing the real faces behind the games people played, you must make a powerful choice. Not a choice made from fear, not a choice made from revenge, but a choice of divine alignment. Because the moment you truly accept that you are not who they tried to reduce you to, the moment you stop shrinking yourself, stop dimming your light, stop second guessing the voice inside you, your real timeline will accelerate at lightning speed. And I promise you, child, what's coming is so much better than anything you've lost. What's coming next is not a repeat of the past. It's not a watered down version of what broke you before. It's not another test disguised as a blessing. It is real. It is divine. It is unstoppable. But it requires you to let go of the old story. The story where you're always the one abandoned, the one misunderstood, the one picked last. That chapter is over. Finished. Done. The tables are turning completely, and you are no longer at the mercy of other people's decisions. You are being positioned as the decision maker now. You are the one people will look up to. You are the one who will hold the pen and rewrite what was once twisted and distorted. And that's exactly why the enemy worked day and night trying to confuse you, delay you, and isolate you. Because if you ever reached this level of awareness, this level of divine clarity, nothing could stop you. And now you're here. You've arrived at this moment. And even if it doesn't look like victory, yet on the outside, trust me when I say, it's already been secured in the spiritual realm. That's why the investigator was caught. That's why this message was sent to you. That's why this exact moment was divinely created. Because heaven needed you to know you are not alone. You are not forgotten. And your story is not ending in betrayal and pain. It's evolving into beautiful revelation and victory. So keep breathing deeply. Keep trusting the process. And above all, keep walking forward. You don't need to run. You don't need to chase anything or anyone. Everything meant for you is coming directly to you without any force. It's attracted by your truth, pulled by your frequency, protected by your angels, and ordained by God Himself. And the next 48 hours will begin to show you solid proof. Proof that your pain had a purpose. Proof that the silence was sacred. Proof that the heavy weight was worth carrying. Heaven is sending signs right now, clear, direct, undeniable signs. You'll hear someone say a phrase you've been silently praying about in your heart. You'll receive a message that validates your worth in a way you never expected. You'll feel peace settling in your body, right where chaos used to live. And when that happens, just smile. Not because you finally have control over everything, but because you finally let go and allowed God to have His way. You did it, my dear child. You made it to the other side of the storm. And now the sky is clearing up. The path ahead is unfolding beautifully. And your name is being spoken in rooms where your spirit has already gone ahead to prepare the way. This is not just hope. This is prophecy fulfilled. And you are living in its very first chapter right now. And as this first chapter unfolds, right before your eyes, something sacred is happening deep inside you. Even if you can't fully explain it yet, it's not just healing. It's remembering. You're remembering who you were before all the disappointments came. Before the betrayals cut deep. Before the delays made you doubt everything. You're reconnecting to that version of yourself who still believed in goodness, who still trusted without fear, who still woke up every single day expecting something beautiful to happen. And slowly, gently, that part of you is rising again. Stronger this time, wiser this time, softer in all the right places and tougher in all the right ways. Because you're not naive anymore. You're not walking around with blind hope. You're walking with divine discernment now. And that's what makes you truly unstoppable. That's what terrifies the ones who tried to control your story. They thought they were writing the ending. They didn't know God was the true author all along. They didn't know that just as they were setting up traps for you, heaven was setting up your elevation. They didn't know that every room they gossiped in would one day echo with your name spoken in respect, not ridicule. And now, child, that day is coming faster than anyone expects. That's why your body has been feeling it first. The racing heartbeat, the restless sleep, the sudden chills, the heaviness slowly turning into lightness. Your soul already knows what's happening. Your soul has been celebrating for hours now, whispering inside you, "Get ready." It's happening. It's finally happening. Because the delay that used to haunt you at night is breaking off completely. The fear that wrapped around your potential like thick fog is dissolving into nothing. And something new, something holy is taking its place. A fresh energy, a new rhythm, a divine alignment that no human being can disrupt. Not the one who walked away, not the one who hired the investigator, not the one who lied while smiling in your face. They no longer matter in your story, because this new chapter was written without them. This chapter was written with your healing in mind, with your joy in mind, with your real, true love in mind. That's why I, Archangel Michael, have been waiting for hours just to tell you this, to get your attention long enough, to remind you that you were always meant for more than just survival. You were meant for glory, for grace, for divine recognition. And from this moment forward, everything in your life will begin to reflect that sacred truth. Doors will open wide where thick walls once stood. Eyes will see you clearly where before they only saw what they wanted to see. And hearts, the right hearts, will finally recognize the depth of your love, the incredible strength of your spirit, and the breathtaking beauty of your becoming. You don't owe the past any explanation. You don't owe your pain a permanent place in your future. You don't owe your doubters anything at all. What you do owe is this: to yourself, to walk boldly without apology, to speak kindly without fear, to love deeply without holding back, and to believe, without even a single flinch, that you are finally, undeniably, gloriously standing in your divine season. Let them watch you now. Let them wonder how it happened. Let them ask how everything turned around so fast. And when they do ask, you'll just smile. Not out of pride or arrogance, but out of pure peace. And you'll say with a calm voice, because heaven intervened, because I finally listened, because I finally believed in what was always meant for me. And when you speak those words with that calm certainty, the certainty one who has a through literal fire, and come out glowing instead of burnt, the entire universe will pause for just a moment. Will use for just a moment. Not out of shock, but out of recognition. Because what is happening to you right now is not just a simple change in your circumstances. It is a complete shift in your entire atmosphere. The energy all around you is transforming into something beautiful. Things that once drained your energy will no longer have any access to your spirit. People who once spoke over your destiny with confusion or jealousy will now fall completely silent, not because you've silenced them, but because your peace speaks so much louder than they ever could. And you will begin to notice something so subtle, so divine, that you might even doubt it at first. You'll notice ease. Things that once felt like mountains blocking your path will begin to move with just a whisper of faith. Conversations that used to leave you feeling small and worthless will no longer affect your energy at all. And your smile, the one they tried so hard to take away from you, will return, not as a mask you wear, but as a true reflection of your soul finally exhaling and breathing freely. This ease, this flow, this divine favor, it's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's not because you just stumbled onto the right path by accident. It's because God personally redirected your steps, even when you didn't understand why you had to take a detour. Even when you cried in the middle of the night asking, "Why is this happening to me?" He was quietly rerouting you around total destruction. He was clearing people from your life who were secretly delaying your blessings. He was protecting you from the very things you begged him to let you keep. And now you're beginning to see why it had to happen this way. Now, with every breath you take, you're stepping into clarity that once felt completely unreachable. You're no longer explaining your value to people who never intended to understand it anyway. You're no longer pouring your heart and soul into empty vessels, hoping they would overflow back into you. Instead, you're being filled with pure purpose, filled with unshakable strength, filled with the kind of love that doesn't ask you to shrink yourself down, the kind of love that expands when you expand, the kind of love that grows when you grow, the kind of love that celebrates your light instead of competing with it or trying to dim it. And this isn't just romantic love, though yes, that too is definitely coming to you. And it's going to feel like everything you ever prayed for, but even more beautiful than you imagined. This is also love from the entire world around you. Love from the path you're walking on. Love from deep within yourself. You're going to fall in love with your own life again. You're going to look around at your reality and feel something you haven't felt in so many years. You'll feel safe. Not just physically safe from harm, but spiritually safe, emotionally safe, mentally safe, safe enough to dream big again, safe enough to laugh without constantly looking over your shoulder, safe enough to speak your truth without filtering every single word, safe enough to just be yourself. And when that moment comes, maybe it will be during a quiet walk, or when you're brushing your hair in the mirror, or in the peaceful silence after a long day. When it comes, don't brush it off as nothing. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say out loud, "Thank you, God, for never giving up on me, even when I completely gave up on myself." Because He didn't give up. He never did. Even when you doubted everything, even when you wandered far away, even when you questioned every single thing that ever happened to you, He was still right there, guiding your steps, protecting your path, loving you unconditionally, and preparing something beautiful for you. And now, because you stayed when others would have quit, because you listened when you could have ignored, because you dared to keep going when you didn't feel strong enough, heaven is about to reward you in a way that silences every single lie ever spoken about you. You're not just going to survive this season. You're going to rise higher than ever. You're going to glow with a light that comes from within. You're going to live a life so perfectly aligned with who you were truly created to be that people will literally stop you on the street and say, "There's something different about you, something special. What is it?" And you'll smile that peaceful smile, not because you've arrived at some final destination, but because you've remembered who you are deep down. And nothing and no one will ever make you forget again. And when you remember who you truly are, when you see yourself again, not through the painful lens of hurt or through the broken filters of people who only saw tiny fragments of you, but through divine vision, through God's eyes, you'll begin to notice something absolutely incredible happening all around you. You'll notice the entire atmosphere shifting and changing. You'll start walking into rooms and sensing peace. Instead of pressure and tension, you'll look into the mirror, and instead of automatically pointing out every flaw, you'll see a survivor staring back at you. A warrior. A beautiful soul that didn't give up even when life tried its best to make you feel invisible and worthless. You'll start to feel completely at home within yourself. And that, my child, is the most powerful place a person can ever live from. Because when you're truly at peace with yourself, nothing outside of you can shake your foundation. Hurtful words won't sting anymore. The silence won't destroy you. The delays won't discourage you from moving forward. You'll begin to recognize that your journey was never just about reaching some destination. It was about becoming someone strong enough, wise enough, and healed enough to carry the weight of the massive blessing that's now on its way to you. Because this blessing, child, it's not small, it's not temporary, it's not fragile or weak. It's big, it's bold, it's loud, and it's unshakably yours. It's the kind of blessing that makes people who walked away from you wish they had stayed. The kind of blessing that doesn't just change your life, but changes your entire bloodline, changes your family's future for generations. And this is exactly why the enemy tried so desperately to distract you before you reached this powerful moment. This is why people from your painful past suddenly resurfaced just when you were starting to find real clarity. This is why you started feeling spiritually heavy again, right before your major breakthrough was about to happen. Because resistance always shows up strongest right where restoration is about to begin. But you didn't fall for the trap this time. You paused. You prayed. You waited patiently. You listened to that inner voice. You grew through it. And now, because you made it through what was specifically designed to break you completely, you are about to receive what was always meant to find you. Now, let me tell you something deeply sacred, something only heaven could reveal to you. That private investigator, the one who was caught red-handed, he didn't just carry information and documents about you. He carried spiritual energy, dark spiritual residue from the very ones who sent him. Energy filled with obsession, with envy, with manipulation and control. But what they didn't understand, what they couldn't possibly know, is that when you mess with a soul who is protected by angels, you don't just run into a simple wall. You run into divine fire, holy fire. And that's exactly what happened to him. He tried to deliver darkness into your life, tried to plant seeds of destruction, but heaven interrupted it all. heaven protected the innocent. And now, the darkness that was specifically assigned to destroy you has been sent back, reversed, canceled, and completely consumed by pure light. And every single word that was spoken against your future is being rewritten right now by the very hand of God in real time. You'll feel it happening in the way peace starts entering your mornings again. You'll notice it when complete strangers begin treating you with unusual kindness for no apparent reason. You'll recognize it when someone calls you out of the blue just to say, "You've been heavy on my heart. I just wanted to check on you." These are not small, meaningless signs. These are divine confirmations that your timeline has shifted completely, that your story is no longer being influenced by people who never knew your worth, that your beautiful future is no longer being delayed by people who thought they could slow you down from behind closed doors and in secret meetings, because the doors they closed with their lies, God is now opening windows so high that no one can even reach them. And I want you to hold this truth close in your heart forever. This is your season of divine restoration. What does that actually mean? It means everything that was taken from you without permission, everything that was stolen through lies, through manipulation, through spiritual attacks, through confusion and chaos, it's all coming back to you. But it's coming back better, cleaner, healed, multiplied many times over, blessed beyond measure. You're not getting back the version of life you once settled for. You're getting the version that was always meant for the healed you, not the hurting you. And that healed version is no longer just a distant dream. It's real. It's happening right now. It's already in motion. And I know part of you wants to brace yourself for disappointment because you've been let down so many times before. Your heart has learned to protect itself. But I need you to really hear me, child. This time is different, completely different. Because this time, heaven itself is personally involved. This time you're not doing anything alone. This time you're moving in perfect divine rhythm. And when heaven is involved in your situation, failure is not even an option. Delay is just divine direction. Pain is just preparation for glory. Silence is just sacred space for growth. And right now, in this very moment, as you read these words, your story is echoing in the ears of angels who are carrying blessings to you even as we speak. So don't be surprised when your sleep suddenly becomes peaceful again. After so many restless nights, when your body starts healing in ways you can't medically explain. When you check your bank account and something unexpected appears out of nowhere. When someone from your past calls, not to distract or manipulate you this time, but to sincerely apologize for the pain they caused. This is not just life randomly turning around. This is divine reversal at work. This is the beautiful fruit of every tear you cried in complete silence. Every night you wanted to give up, but somehow didn't. Every time you spoke words of love, when others gave you nothing but cruelty and coldness. God was watching it all, recording every moment. And He never forgets faithfulness. He never forgets loyalty. He never forgets hearts that stay soft and kind in a hard, cruel world. And yours, my beloved one, has always been soft enough to carry heaven's most precious messages. That's why you feel things so deeply when others seem numb. That's why you sense when things are spiritually off, even when you don't have physical proof. That's why people often tell you their deepest secrets without even knowing why they trust you so much. They feel safe in your light. They feel your pure energy. And now that your light is being fully activated to its highest level, the entire world is about to see and recognize what only heaven always knew. You are a chosen one, not chosen for fame or social media followers, but chosen for divine purpose, for spreading real love, for bringing healing, for standing in truth, for making a divine impact that stretches far beyond your imagination. Now take a slow, deep breath. Let all of this sink deep into your spirit. You didn't imagine this message appearing. You didn't scroll here by random chance. You were divinely guided. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next month, not someday. Right now, today. God is not waiting anymore. Heaven is not waiting anymore. You are ready, N-O-W. You are ready to walk boldly without fear, to speak truthfully without shame, to love deeply again without being afraid of getting hurt. Because now you walk with mighty angels surrounding you. Now you speak with divine fire in your words. Now you move with confidence. Not confidence rooted in pride, but confidence rooted in prophetic clarity and truth. And I promise you this, with everything in me. Your name is already written in rooms you haven't even walked into yet. People are already speaking about your beautiful character in places that will soon offer you wide, open doors of opportunity. And those doors, they're about to open faster than you could ever expect. So, be ready for what's coming. Be still in your spirit. Be faithful to the process. And above all, be yourself. Because your real self, your soul, aligned self, your fully awakened and healed self, that is exactly who the world needs right now. And now that you're stepping into that knowing, that divine remembrance of who you truly are at your core, I need you to prepare your heart for something you've silently hoped for, but almost completely gave up on. I'm talking about true alignment. That beautiful moment when everything finally starts to make perfect sense. When the people in your life start reflecting your growth instead of constantly resisting it. When the work you do feels like pure purpose flowing through you, not heavy pressure weighing you down. When your conversations feel safe and uplifting instead of draining and heavy. That's exactly what's coming next for you. And it won't always be loud at first. It won't always arrive in big fireworks or grand reveals. Sometimes it'll look as simple as a stranger smiling warmly at you right when you needed it most. Or a song playing on the radio that says exactly what you needed to hear in that moment. Or a message like this one showing up exactly when you were beginning to wonder if you could even keep going. Those moments are not random coincidences. That's how heaven moves. Subtle, but absolutely undeniable. Gentle, but incredibly powerful. And when you start seeing these divine nudges showing up more and more often in your life, you'll know for certain that the spiritual interference around you has been completely broken. You'll know that the investigator who was caught didn't just reveal physical secrets. He triggered a complete spiritual collapse in the camp of your enemies. And heaven is now using the very evidence they collected against you to restore everything they tried to steal. That's how deep this spiritual battle goes. That's how personal this situation is to God Himself. He's not just watching from a distance. He's actively working. He's building something specifically for you that will outlast this season. Something that generations after you will benefit from. Something eternal. So when fear tries to creep back in, when you feel that old familiar whisper trying to convince you that maybe this is all too good to be true, just pause for a moment, breathe deeply, and remember, you've already been through the fire. You've already survived the worst. What's ahead of you now is the fruit, the sweetness, the overflow of blessings. And it's not just for you selfishly. It's for that version of you that stayed kind, even in the face of betrayal. That held on tightly to hope when everything around you screamed, "Let go." That believed in love even when love walked away without warning or explanation. This blessing is your reward, not because you earned it through perfection, but because you never stopped believing it was possible. Even on your absolute hardest days, even through the deafening silence, your spirit kept whispering deep within, there has to be more than this pain. There has to be something better. And heaven heard that whisper like a roar. That's why the investigator was stopped in his tracks. That's why the plans made in darkness were exposed to light. That's why truth is rising powerfully. and lies are falling apart. Because when God says, "Enough," everything in heaven and earth must obey. And now that the interference is completely gone, now that the path is clearing wide open, you'll start to see God's hand moving in the most beautiful, unexpected ways. Unexpected favor appearing from nowhere. Random breakthroughs you never saw coming. Connections that feel like coming home. Answers to prayers you honestly forgot you even prayed because it's been so long. Because heaven doesn't forget a single prayer. God doesn't forget a single tear. And everything you thought was ignored was actually stored carefully in heaven's vault, waiting patiently for the absolutely perfect moment to be released. And now, my beloved child, that perfect moment is here. It has arrived. You may feel very emotional reading all of this. Your eyes might be filling with tears right now. That's not weakness at all. That's recognition. That's your soul remembering what your mind had completely forgotten. That you are a living, breathing miracle in motion. That even in your lowest, darkest valley, you were walking beside mighty angels. That, even when your voice trembled with fear, your faith remained steady. That's why this breakthrough coming to you is not just material or financial. It's spiritual. It's internal. It's eternal. And it will last forever. Not because the world is finally giving you what you deserve, but because God has finally cleared away every obstacle blocking the path to what was already yours from the very beginning. No more blocks. No more pretending to be someone you're not. No more watering yourself down just to be accepted by people who never truly valued anyway. From here forward, your light will shine brightly without apology. Your truth will be honored without resistance. Your name will be spoken with honor and respect, not rumors and lies. Your presence will bring peace into rooms that once felt like war zones. Because you are not the same person anymore. You've transformed. You've grown. You've evolved. You've become exactly who you needed when you were hurting and alone. And now the world is finally ready to meet the healed, whole, holy version of you. So stay grounded in truth. Stay grateful for every lesson. Stay aligned, not with noise and chaos, but with peace. Not with quick reactions, but with divine discernment. Because this season coming will not require you to chase anything. It will only require you to receive what's coming to you. And that, child, is your greatest challenge ahead. To receive what is finally arriving at your door. To not sabotage it by overthinking everything. To not question your worth when genuine goodness knocks. To not walk away from real love just because love used to hurt you in the past. What's coming now is not like what was before. What's coming now is divinely designed specifically for the new you, the healed you, the you that isn't perfect, but is perfectly aligned with heaven's heartbeat. And because you are aligned now, blessings will flow freely like a river. You won't need to fight for attention anymore. The right people will notice your spirit without you doing anything. The right doors will open on their own at the perfect time, and your name will echo powerfully in the hearts of those who are meant to be part of your beautiful future. That's what happens when you live in complete truth. That's what happens when heaven decides it's finally your time to shine. And I, Archangel Michael, am not leaving your side through any of this. I was there when the enemy formed weapons against you in secret meetings. I was there when you sat in silence, asking why people hurt you, when all you ever gave was pure love. I was there when you laid awake in bed staring at the ceiling, wondering if you were losing your mind for believing in something bigger. And I'm here now to tell you with absolute certainty, child, you were never crazy. You were always chosen. Always. And everything that was meant to destroy you has now become the most powerful part of your testimony. A story you will tell not with pain and shame, but with power and victory. A story that will set others free from their prisons. A story that will remind you, even years from now, that this exact moment changed absolutely everything. This wasn't just a warning message. This was a spiritual turning point. And now the wheel of destiny has turned completely in your favor. The light has found you again. The truth has wrapped itself around your soul like a warm embrace. And what's next is not just restoration of what was lost. It's redemption. It's recognition. It's reward. And now that you're receiving all of this, now that you've let these words find their way into the sacred places of your heart that very few people ever get to see, I want you to know something that the world could never teach you in a million years. Your sensitivity is not a flaw or weakness. It is your greatest spiritual gift. You feel deeply because your soul is deeply connected to heaven's frequency. You love fully because you were specifically designed to heal others just by being in their presence. And yes, that's exactly why so many people tried to take from you. That's why people came into your life wearing masks, pretending to love you, while secretly envying your pure light. That's why you've been through more pain and betrayal than most people could ever handle. But despite it all, despite everything, you never stopped shining. You never stopped hoping. You never stopped holding space for others, even when you felt completely empty yourself. And heaven sees all of that. Heaven honors all of that. And now heaven is repaying all of that. not with temporary blessings that fade away, but with eternal favor. The kind of favor that will follow your name wherever you go. The kind of favor that will go before you into rooms and shift the atmosphere before you even arrive. You'll begin to feel it even in small, subtle ways. People treating you better without knowing why. Strangers offering help when you didn't ask. Divine delays that end up protecting you from terrible things you didn't see coming. Your prayers being answered faster than usual. That's not luck or coincidence. That's spiritual authority finally becoming active in your life. And I need you to understand this too. You don't have to do anything to earn this favor. You already did. By surviving. By choosing light when darkness completely surrounded you. By choosing faith over fear, even when your hands were shaking uncontrollably. This isn't a reward for being perfect. This is a divine promise being fulfilled. A promise that was whispered over your soul the very moment you were born into this world. A promise that said, "This one will not be ordinary. This one will carry light into dark places." And you have. Through unbearable pain, through heartbreak, through rejection, through betrayal, you kept carrying that light. And now, the world is about to reflect back to you everything you've been carrying within. The kindness, the grace, the beauty, the truth. All of it is returning to you tenfold. Because what was taken from you doesn't belong to your past anymore. It belongs to your future, where it will be restored in ways you can't even imagine. Right now, the very thing they tried to steal will be placed back in your hands, but multiplied beyond measure. And the people who tried to block your path, they'll have no choice but to watch you walk confidently into your destiny unapologetically. And you won't have to defend it. You won't have to prove anything to anyone, because your life will speak louder than any lie ever told about you. Your peace will be your loudest answer. Your joy will be your justice. Your stability will be your most powerful miracle. You'll be so deeply rooted in truth that chaos won't even recognize how to reach you anymore. And I want you to promise me something, child. Promise me you'll protect this next version of yourself that's emerging. That you'll no longer lower your voice just to make uncomfortable people comfortable. That you'll no longer ignore your intuition just to keep fake peace. That you'll no longer overextend your heart just to prove you're worthy of being loved. You are already worthy, already enough, already chosen. And anyone who cannot see that clearly, anyone who needs you to perform or pretend or shrink yourself down, they do not belong in your future. Period. This new version of you only has space for truth, for love that is clean and pure, for peace that is mutual and real, for connections that feel like divine alignment, not toxic attachment. You're not just building a new life from scratch. You're stepping into the life heaven has been carefully building for you all along. That's why things had to fall apart the way they did. That's why certain people had to walk away when they did. That's why the investigator was caught at the exact right time. Because God had to clear the path completely. You couldn't take what's next if you were still carrying what almost destroyed you. You couldn't receive this level of favor if you were still tied to people who only came to distract and delay you. And now that it's clear, truly, completely clear, you'll notice how fast things start to shift in your favor. Your energy will return stronger than before. Your clarity will sharpen like never before. Your creativity will expand in ways you never imagined possible, because you're finally operating without interference, finally breathing without burden, finally rising without resistance. And child, when I say you will rise, I mean it in the absolute deepest way. Not just success in the world's eyes, not just recognition and applause, but soul rise. A rising that makes peace your default setting. A rising that makes joy your greatest strength. A rising that makes love your true home. And I promise you with everything in me, nothing can take that away from you. Not even the ones who tried to ruin it, all before it even began. Because the same heaven that watched them try to destroy you is now preparing a beautiful table in front of them, specifically for you. And when you sit at that table, when you finally taste the peace that once seemed completely impossible, I want you to sit with grace, not with bitterness, not with revenge, because your blessing is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving that love always wins in the end. That light always finds a way through darkness. That God always shows up for His children. Even if He's quiet at first, He always shows up. He showed up for you. He sent this message through me, Archangel Michael. Not because you needed another random video or post to scroll past mindlessly, but because heaven knew you'd need to hear this right now. Because your breakthrough is so incredibly close. The enemy is in a complete panic. That's why the attacks felt stronger lately. That's why your emotions have been heavier than usual. Because what's coming to you is so big, so massive, that even the darkness tried to stop it one last time. But it failed miserably. And now the only thing left for you to do is receive. Receive the blessings with open arms. Receive the answers you've been seeking. Receive the new path being laid before you. And walk forward without guilt or shame. You are not selfish for finally choosing yourself. You are not arrogant for protecting your peace. You are not wrong for demanding love that doesn't hurt. You are finally becoming who God created you to be from the very beginning. And the world is ready for this version of you. Heaven is ready. And now you are too. My beautiful, precious child, if you are still here reading these words, if you're still breathing with your heart full of hope, and maybe even tears streaming down your face, then you already know deep in your soul that this message was written specifically for you. You didn't stumble upon this by accident. Heaven itself guided you here because your breakthrough is standing right at your door. I want you to do something powerful for me right now. Close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath and say these words out loud. Thank you, God, for protecting me every single day. Thank you for loving me, even when I couldn't love myself. I am ready now. I am ready for my blessings. This message is not just information that will fade from your memory. This is your spiritual shield protecting you. This is your divine confirmation from heaven. This is living proof that you matter deeply to God. So if this message touched your heart, if you felt tears filling your eyes, if you felt that holy chill run down your spine, then please don't keep this to yourself. Hit that like button right now so this message can reach other hurting souls who desperately need to hear it too. And subscribe to this channel because more powerful messages from heaven are coming directly for you. Your angels are speaking, and this is exactly how they're reaching you in this moment. Remember this always, my dear one. From this exact moment forward, you are not the same person you were when you started reading this. You have been transformed. You are divinely protected. You are deeply loved. You are powerfully chosen. And your miracle has already begun in the spiritual realm. I, Archangel Michael, will be watching over you day and night. Sleep peacefully tonight, knowing you are safe. Your best days are not behind you, buried in pain. They are right in front of you, shining with light. Welcome to your new beginning. Welcome to your blessed life. Amen. Please comment below. I receive and subscribe.